Hello and a very good morning to you. It's Thursday, the 2nd of January 2020. Welcome along to this morning's United Kingdom Talk, coming to you from the Chapel Hill Marina in Lincolnshire. Good morning, boys and girls. Well, we made it through day one, didn't we? Did you enjoy your New Year's Day? What did you do? What exciting things did you do yesterday, I wonder? Anything of exciting at all? Maybe not. Maybe it was. Maybe that is still to come. What are you looking forward to this year? We're going to talk about that tonight. We're going to have a phone-in show tonight, boys and girls. You'll be able to call in. And one of the things I'd like to talk about tonight would be your expectations for the new year. Perhaps, maybe New Year's resolutions, stuff that you would like to happen. Might not necessarily happen. Might not. But you're hoping that it might happen. Anything like that, you know? One of the things I'd like to talk about tonight on our brand new phone-in show tonight. Phone number, everything. No premium rates. Nope. 028 is a London number. You'll be able to call in on that. Or indeed, if you've got Skype, or if you haven't got Skype, you could download that now in readiness for tonight. Then download Skype and you'll be able to call us on the username United Kingdom Talk. Okay, all one word, United Kingdom Talk. That's the Skype name. All right, so welcome along. Shall we do early? Let's do early people this morning. I don't usually refer to the early messages as they come in until I've had a bit of a chin wag myself, but we'll do it this morning. Morning to Jason Hughes. Morning, Jason. Back at the top of the tree there. Joey Millen in the house. Amelia. Everyone's early today. Mick Davenport. Mandy Davenport. Mikey Mike. Reese Ponto. And many other names. Good morning, Mike. Ian Days. Hello to you. Ross Herndon. Morning, Ross. Got your raffle ticket there, my darling. You should have had the email there, okay? Hello to Ian Days. Shania is off to church this morning. Ooh, what is it today then? It's not a holy day today, is it? When's Epiphany? Oh, that's Sunday, isn't it? No, it's not. Is it not a holy day today? Is it, Shania? What are you doing at church? Are you just doing general things? Because Shania, a lot of you don't realise, Shania is actually in charge of the Catholic Church on the Isle of Wight. A lot of people don't realise that. She's a very, very important person. Morning to you, Shania. Hello to Ray Reynolds. Morning, Ray. Roy Brownlow's early today. How I sent you pictures. Yes, I saw the pictures, dear. I saw the pictures. Well, I mean, what do you want? A prize or something? You've got enough, dear. I mean, how many more prizes do you want? I'm surprised at the amount of people that say, I sent you an email. Or I say, do you think I'm sitting here when I'm not doing the show, waiting for your boring emails, Roy Brownlow? Do you think that's the case? God's sake, man, dear. I'm not sitting here waiting for your messages to come in. Once the show's over, that's it until next time. Morning, Roy. Good morning to... Morning to Diane Jeb. See, Diane, quite happily, she just sits there on the side, quietly, minding her own business, isn't she? Why can't you be the same? Why can't you just shut up for 5 blooming minutes? Morning to... Jason spent all day watching football and darts in the evening. Yeah, I would imagine a lot of people just do that. A lot of the blokes do that, don't they? Sitting there watching the football. I don't know where my nephew was yesterday. I did pop up to my sister's house. We had a bit of lunch at my sister's house yesterday. She does this vegetarian... Well, I had the same thing at Christmas. Vegetarian thing in one of those silver things and layers of vegetables. Oh, it's absolutely delicious. Absolutely delicious it was. And we had roast potatoes. They go in a fryer. Very nice indeed. Good morning to Fun Things to Do with Tech. Alan Wainwright in the house. Robert Lunn, good morning to you. Good health, good wealth, and good luck for 2020. And good luck to you. Good luck to you. There you go. I think, oh, hang on a minute. We've just received a £1.99 super chat from Mr. Mick Davenport. Good morning, young Mick Davenport this morning. I need more coloured pens, don't we all? You better have the last one then, Mick. It's a blue one. Have you got blue? You better have the last one. There are some more on the way, okay? But for this moment, this is absolutely the last one, which I can't send to you because I've got no envelopes here. So you'll have to wait till Saturday for me to put that in the box. And actually, Roy wants... There's a white one for Roy and a blue one for you. And that's it. So you know what to do. If you want the pen, send me your email address there, my old mate, okay? Usual address, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Now, talking about the emails, okay? Talking about the emails, we're all aware of how busy the chat thing is getting now. And it's so busy that it is difficult sometimes for me sitting here to pull out the sort of very important emails rather than everyone chatting to each other. Okay, so as an addition to the chat box, if you ever want to eat, I'll start keeping an eye on the emails coming in as well. Okay, so if you want to email the show, right, and then it will come in front of me there, and it'll be on its own. You see, as long as not too many people do that. But to send an email, you've got to really want to send an email. Do you see what I mean? Rather than the general chitter chatter, and I will see that quite quickly. So if you want to try, we'll try that for a while. We'll have the email running as well. So if you've got something and you find perhaps I'm missing it or it's very important or something like that, then send it over. What happened then? A light just gone out. I think my battery's died. It's gone a bit dim over there. I should have charged those up yesterday. No, dear. I'm sitting here in darkness now. Well, it's like Dracula. Anyone see that last night? Yeah, if you want to send an email, you're finding, no messages are getting read, or it's something important, then send it over as an email, and we'll have that in addition to the chat box, all right? That might make it easier for some people there. For example, when we're trying to go down the list, and you understand what I mean? It's kind of separate from all the chat box. So if you want to do that, that facility's there as well now. Okay, my darlings. Good morning to Fun Fin Fizz with Sparky down there in Cornwall. Good morning to you. There's a couple of texts come in as well since the last show. Maureen is wishing us a happy and healthy new year. Thank you very much, Maureen. And Simon Keane, Mr. Chop Chop, reference to Finders Keepers story yesterday. Do you remember that? The Finders Keepers? Yes. It says, having found you 5 years ago on Facebook, I'm now going to hand you into the cops so they can return you to your rightful owners, Gemma Collins and Rylan Clark. No, thank you, dear. Sorry for not going to prison for nobody. I'm sorry. He says, sorry, I'm not going to prison for anybody. Love you more than Gemma Collins herself. Thank you, Simon. Oh, can you think of anything worse? Having them two as parents, Gemma Collins and Rylan Clark. Here's one from Roy Brownlow. A non-important email. He writes, a no-moaning email tester. So that all seems to be working. The cough is actually a little bit better than it was. I've got a bit of phlegm coming up now, so that's how it is. Right, back to these things coming in this morning there. Shania, it's a normal weekday, Mass, but as she's on holiday from work, I offered to cover auto serving today and tomorrow to give normal weekday servers a couple of days off. It's a very kind person, Shania. She's a lovely person, Shania. Good morning to Gavin Bass. Good morning to you. Fran Green in the house. Morning, Fran. I know I read them out twice sometimes. And there we are. And Tony King as well. Good morning to you, everyone. Yes, as I say, yesterday I had a nice lunch at my sister's house. And the children came round as well. And 2:30, it was The Sound of Music. How can you ever tire of watching that programme? The hills are alive with the sound of music. Oh, beautiful. Out came the nuns. I never tire of seeing that. With the wonderful Julie Andrews and the whistles. Everyone's got a whistle, haven't they? Perhaps I should get one of those whistles. That Christopher Plummer had, the Captain Von Trapp. And I could refer to, you could all have your own, whistle. Good morning, Michael Lawrence. Adrian Richardson. You could all have your own whistle like they have on The Sound of Music. Michael Lawrence could be, ooh. Adrian Richardson could be, ooh, ooh. Mikey Mike could be, ooh, ooh. Something like that. Perhaps I could refer to you by whistles instead. Not missiles. Whistles instead. So I watched a bit of The Sound of Music for I think about an hour or so, and then I came back to the caravan for a sleep, and I could feel myself coughing again, so had to leave straight away. Got up last night. Doctor Who, yes, excellent first Doctor Who. I can't believe it's been a year since we last watched Doctor Who. Isn't that amazing? And a year since we last saw Doctor Who. Anyway, it came on last night. I thought it was blooming excellent. They've spent some money on that, haven't they? Filming in, was it South Africa they were filming? And, oh, where's the other place now? Can't remember the other place. They can do so much with these cameras are now in drones and some fantastic shots and special effects in that Doctor Who last night, I have to say. Absolutely amazing. So really pleased with that. I believe it's back on Sunday night because it's a two-parter, isn't it? A Sunday night. I think it's back on Sunday night around about 7 o'clock. Something like that. Looking very much. We may have to do the bingo later. Might have to do the bingo later. No, but yes, it's on Sunday, I think around 7 o'clock. Part 2 of Doctor Who. Of course, in the past, you know, when I was a child, Doctor Who was in sort of 4, 6, 8 parts, wasn't it? You know, we had half-hour episodes, which, I'll be honest, I think they worked, for me, they worked better, because you were always looking forward to the next, you know, there was always a little bit of a cliffhanger, and then you had the whole week to look forward to the next one. I don't go along with all this binge watching and that business. You watch an entire series of a TV programme in one sitting. That being said, there's plenty of you that do it. My sister does it. She's already watched the entire series of Lost in Space. You know, the new series of Lost in Space, which she likes very, very much. I suppose it's personal preference, really. But yeah, Doctor Who used to be in half-hour episodes, didn't it? You remember years ago. And since it restarted, oh, that must be 10 years ago with Christopher Eccleston. Since that, they do the one story per episode now, which is about an hour long, don't they? Whichever. I don't know what you prefer, but that was it. So I watched Doctor Who, and then I watched a load more telly last night. I had a little bit of a FaceTime with my niece and my sister as well. And I watched a film, now where is it now, which I highly recommend, with the great Michael Caine, and equally as great, one of my favourite actors, Morgan Freeman. He's fantastic. How old is he? He's got to be about 75, and he's fantastic. Morgan Freeman, Michael Caine, there's some other famous faces in there. It's on Netflix. The film is called, write it down, Going in Style. Going in Style. It's really good. And they're all, of course, quite old, well into their 70s, and they rob a bank. And it was old school. Of course, no one gets hurt. That's what robbers used to do. You know, they'd go and rob someone, or not someone necessarily. That's more of a mugging, isn't it? They go and rob banks and places like that. No one ever used to get hurt or shot or knifed or hanged or whatever. They'd just go in, do the job and get out again. It must be a lot harder now, I would imagine, to rob a bank. Don't you think? TV cameras all over the place and various trip up, I don't know, trip wires, what you call them, those little things on the wall, what sense movement and all that business. But I mean, they walked into this bank, which was full of customers, and robbed the whole place and got away with it. It's a great film. Absolutely great film. And there's something about seeing old people, and there's been a few films and TV dramas of old people up to no good. I mean, quite old people, over 70s, yeah? And the thing is, you always want them to get away with it. I don't know why that is. Are you the same? It's very warm to watch it. You don't feel that they're doing anything wrong. Basically, I think it was Michael Caine. I think he was whatever character he was playing. Just a minute. Let me just move my foot round. The character he was playing, he was saying, I need to do this now because I'm going to lose my house in 20 days. I think something had gone wrong with their pensions or whatever. And I won't give away the exact plot, but once the job had been done and they'd got away with it, they then started giving out money, you know, anonymously to people that have kind of helped them, but those people didn't realise that they had been helping the burglar. Oh, it was fantastic. I love it. I absolutely love it. So do watch that, okay? Shania, as MC for the parish, I felt I needed to be kind and offer. You're very, very good, Shania. Good morning to Sean Pye, just joining us there. Jason Hughes watched that film. It's good, isn't it, Jason? And as I say, no one gets shot. There's no swearing. No one gets hurt. It's lovely, wonderful, wonderful film. So do give that one a watch. Good morning, John Aitken. It's called, once again, Going in Style. And it's on Netflix One Colour, okay? Netflix One Colour. All right. So there we go. Just a moment. Mick's just sent another super chat. Mick, you'll have to wait. If I'm in the middle of a story, Mick, you've got to wait, dear. You've got to wait, dear. Christ almighty. But some people are so impatient, aren't they, this morning? Mick Davenport. Look, he sends... Oh, there you go. There you go. He's going to wait for a different coloured pen to arrive. There you go, Mick. All right, he's going to wait for another colour to arrive. A little bit of patience. You wouldn't believe it how impatient people are. You know, they send you asking a request for a raffle ticket. 10 minutes later, oh, you haven't answered my email. Give us a chance, for Christ's sake. It's not McDonald's. You know, oh, can I have that? I reckon I answer your super chats quicker than you can get us something from McDonald's. Am I right, Mick? Morning to Yvonne Lemon. Good morning to you. And other stuff I watched last night. A little bit of Lost in Space. I started watching, I started trying to watch something else that was advertised. Have you got Netflix, by the way, Mick? Do you have Netflix on your telly? Do you have that? What is it, about £6 a month or something like that? I think I can't remember now. I watched the Messiah. I've watched a little bit of the Messiah, which was on Netflix as well. But then the screen went a little bit funny. Thank you, Mick. The screen went a little bit funny, and my picture on Netflix became like a little bit like that at the top of some sort of jumbled up picture, right at the very top. So if the screen was like this, it suddenly went like that. And just at the top was this little squiggly flash, which was obviously the picture there, you know, squiggling around at the top there and flashing. And I thought, oh, something's gone wrong there. So I turned off the telly, turned it on again with the remote control. No, that didn't fix it. So I thought maybe it's the program. So I switched to a different film, again within the Netflix. The telly was working all right within the Netflix thing, and no, it was still doing the same. I thought, well, I'll come back to that later. Gavin's got Netflix. Good, Gavin's got Netflix. So I switched over to the iPlayer, and I watched the first instalment of Dracula. Now, who's seen that? I see that John Aitken watched that last night. It's very gory, but great acting and script, and I'll go along with that. It's very, very good. Dracula. Anyone seen Dracula? Good morning to Sabrina. Very good morning to Sabrina. And where is it? Here we go. There's a little bit on the Daily Mail this morning. Written by Christopher Stevens, who's watched the programme. He's a critic type person, I think. And he says, on the first day of Veganuary, anyone doing that vegan thing? Trying the vegan thing for January? Anyone doing that? On the first day of Veganuary, my TV gave to me 12 nuns a bleeding, 11 bats a feeding, 10 ghouls a shrieking, 9 corpses twitching, 8 demons drooling, 7 wolves a howling, 6 crosses burning, 5 fingernails, 4 goblets of blood, 3 dread rats, 2 stakes through the heart, and a vampire baby in a bad mood. And that basically, that's an excellent piece of writing. What's his name? Christopher someone or other. It's in the Daily Mail this morning. Christopher Stevens. What an excellent piece of... That's got to be the best... One of the best openings of a critic I've ever seen. That's fantastic what he's done with the 12 Days of Christmas there. You'll notice it's still Christmas here. We've got 12 Days of Christmas, which finishes, I think, on Sunday. I think it does. And that is basically what it was. It was blooming great. You've got to watch that Dracula on BBC One Colour. First episode now on the iPlayer. I don't know when the second episode's on. It goes on in the story. Dracula, BBC One, was dripping with more gore than a raw hamburger, marinated in pig's blood and garnished with an eyeball. And that was before the Lord of the Undead decapitated the Mother Superior. He ripped her head off. I'm watching this, and my mouth is dropping open. Mother Superior, Joanna Scanlon, sending a fountain of vermilion like a geyser across the altar of the convent chapel. There was blood everywhere. It was awful. This was a Dracula to delight horror movies of all stripes. From the bone-chilling menace of Mac Shrek, I think it is, in the silent classic Nosferatu almost 100 years ago, to the sheer camp silliness of Hammer Horror's bosomy virgins, it played homage to them all. It's really good. And it's funny. One of the nuns who's trying to find out about vampires, some of the stuff she comes out with, it has you howling with laughter. It's so good. It's so good. And there's a bit where she actually fronts up to Dracula, almost nose to nose, and some of the stuff she says to him, it's so good. It's so good. Writers Mark Gatiss and Stephen Moffat have done this before, reinventing a Victorian masterpiece for the 21st century television audience with Sherlock. The story goes on in the Daily Mail. By taking all the elements they love most from their favourite versions, the duo salute the past while creating an entirely original version. Perhaps seeking to stir up publicity, Gatiss and Moffat have announced that this would be a homoerotic Dracula. It wasn't the first. I didn't really notice homoerotic in there. It wasn't really the first episode. It wasn't in the first episode. Exuberantly camp, certainly, but not noticeably gay. So I'll leave the rest of it there because it gives away a lot of what's going on in there. But it's really, really good. If you get a chance, watch the new Dracula on BBC iPlayer. Hilarious. Not for children. No, absolutely not. You don't want children who want to see nuns' heads ripped off, do you? You hardly see nuns anymore, do you? Remember walking down the street, nuns and things like that? Roy Brownlow writes, did you see the new Wurzel? I wasn't impressed. No, I didn't see it. All I saw was like a newspaper picture of him, and I wasn't impressed with the image. Not at all. That to me isn't Wurzel. But then again, that might be you, because Roy, you and I are a bit older, and we don't want to know the new version. You know, we want to stick with the happy old version, don't we? And that might be why that is. Maybe the kids loved it. I certainly loved the new version of Dracula last night. Morning to Joanna. Good morning, Joanna. George Bond is in the house. Good morning. Zadrinda is my girlfriend. Okay. Let's have a look. Where are we now? Scrolling down. Happy New Year to Yvonne, who's watching on the 43-inch television. Good morning to you. John, the Van Helsing nun was a great character. She certainly was. The whole thing was... I can't fault it. The bats flying around. Once again, you know, you look at new TV stuff like last night, and you can't actually see special effects. It just looks like that's what's happening. It's so dark in here. One of my lights has gone out in here. I forgot to charge the battery. Never mind. Mandy thought it was a laugh as well. Yes, indeed. Second episode tonight is on at 9 o'clock, says Mikey Mike. Thank you very much for that, Mikey Mike. I didn't know that. So that's when the second episode is on tonight. Okay. Joanna's got problem with buffering. Everyone else okay? No, it's you. Whatever device you're on, Joanna, turn it off, start again, and fire up our page, and that usually pulls it back in sync. It's usually the other end, actually. Fran's got voice. Fran's is buffering is a little bit. Oh, okay. John says I'm standing. Yes, I am a lot better today. Thank you very much. Let's see. Okay. Good, that's working okay. So I watched the Dracula. As I say, I tried to watch a bit of the Messiah, but it seems to be some sort of problem with Netflix last night. I then came into here and I booked a hotel room because in March I'm taking my niece and her family to Eurodisney in Paris. Now, I went a few years ago and I swore I'd never go back again. It is really expensive there. The food, it costs an absolute fortune there. But what I've done this time is I've booked breakfast and another meal, either lunch or dinner. So that's now all paid for. Okay, so we'll only have to find one meal a day. And we're only there for 2 nights. 2 nights is enough. Believe me, you ever go to Eurodisney, you only need 2 nights. That's all you need. 2 nights gives you 3 days. You'll get there at whatever time, drop your cases off, go into the park for X number of hours, come out, have something to eat, go to bed, get up early the next morning. It's easy. Okay, 2 nights is well enough for Eurodisney. No need to stay in an expensive hotel either. Again, I mean, it was very nice where we stayed in a hotel last night. That was last time. That was with my nephew and his family at the New York hotel. But actually, it was a bit of an extravagance that we didn't need to do. So this time we're staying at the cheaper end of the Disney thing, the Santa Maria, Santa Monica. Oh, I can't. Someone will know it. The one with all the bright colours. We're staying in that one. It includes a breakfast and, as I say, a meal as well. That's all paid for now. But to be in position, obviously, we go by train from St Pancras Station, and that's quite early in the morning. I think it's something like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, something like that. So that's the train time. So for all of us, both for my niece who's coming over from Cyprus, so she'll stay presumably with my sister, and they'll come down on the train on the Sunday. You see, so they come down on the train on the Sunday, and we book into a Premier Inn, which is in St Pancras, and because we're so far ahead, we get a really good rate for that, £52. £52 for a night. That's blooming good. That's really London hotel, 52 quid. So I've done the same. So I came into once I heard my niece. Oh, I've got to send her the money as well. Once I heard my niece had paid for that, I came in here and I did the same thing at the Premier Inn. So I got me night sorted. So that's on a Sunday, and then we get up on the Monday morning and just simply walk across the road to the train station, and happy days really. You know, you want to do that sometimes, I think, especially if you've got something going, like a train going from London, so that you know that you're going to be there and already in position in time. So I came in here, did that, watched a bit of the news, and I went to bed about 12:30. I had a lovely shower before I went to bed. It's nice to have a shower before you go to bed, nice and clean. Got into bed, the heating's on. Oh, lovely and cosy in bed last night. Today, I think we're going to Skegness today. I got a text quite late last night from my nephew's wife saying that they were going to Skegness only for a short period of time to get a bag of chips and a little walk around. So I've got to be at my nephew's house today for midday, and we're going there, and that'd be nice. Thank you very much to I think it was Paulie, who watches the show. If I can just bring up the message here. And he was referring to the show yesterday. I was saying about, the Craig David set, which was excellent. Absolutely excellent. Which he did on New Year's Eve. And I was asking where it was. And Craig has written in, if I can just find that now. Can I find his reply there? Oh, I can't find his reply now. Apparently, it was at the... Actually, I can do it from memory. That was done at the BBC Television Theatre, which is in Broadcasting House. So I didn't know there was one in there. I didn't know that's where... If they still had... Because, of course, the BBC Television Theatre used to be in Shepherd's Bush, didn't it? As you come round, as John will tell you, you just come round the corner, and there it was on the corner. And I saw a few shows there back in sort of in the 70s, 80s. I saw Bruce Forsyth's Generation Game live. Yeah, sitting at the bottom there. I saw That's Life. I saw George Hamilton IV. he was a country music singer and he did this one-off thing. So I saw a few things there. Now it's something else. I don't know what it is now. I can't remember. Is it a nightclub or sort of a music venue? But now they still have a BBC television theatre, but that's apparently within Broadcasting House, Paulie was saying. So thank you very much for mentioning that to us. All right. Incidentally, I'd like to dedicate my show today to my dad today, who died on this day, January the 2nd, 1996. I can't believe it's so long. You know, probably one or two of you have lost people over the years, and the time that passes so quickly. What's that, 96, 06, 16, 17, 18, 19, 24 years ago. Gosh, don't seem possible, does it? And then you get flashing back to seeing your dad laying there in the chapel of rest and everything. Gosh. Just scrolling back up there. Just a moment. Bum, bum, bum. Adrian, the new Dracula, he didn't rip the Mother Superior. His head cut it off with his big long sword. He had it all about in the detail, please. Yeah, look, you see, why can't you just sit there and enjoy the programme, Adrian, instead of pulling it apart and noticing everything? You notice things, don't you, Adrian? He likes to get everything right, dear. God, he likes to correct me. Some people like correction. I reckon that Mark Bowles likes a bit of correction. He's very quiet lately. Have you noticed that, boys? Mark Bowles is very, very quiet at the moment. Happy New Year to the lovely Rachel. Happy New Year to you, Rachel. Mick bought a calendar off Roy the Boy yesterday. Waiting in anticipation. Yeah, I've got none left. Why did you buy one so late? That was late, Mick. 6th of Jan, Christmas ends. So it's 6th of Jan we take this all down. The last time you'll see this, incidentally, is tonight, because we won't have a show. We don't usually have a show on Friday mornings. Mick had food poisoning at Disneyland Paris. Always drink bottled water there as well. Yes, correct. Yeah, I gather the French water system isn't as good as ours, is it? But that's the case in many countries, actually. You know, you can't drink water from the tap. If I remember rightly, Barbados and St. Lucia, we could, you know, perhaps that's one of the places you would think where you can't. But I think you can drink it in places like that. Australia, their tap water's good. America, not. No, bottled water in America, which is useless for the environment, isn't it, when you think about it? Good morning to Adam the Plumber. Morning to you. Michael is absolutely right. The Disney in America, in Florida, is much, much better. Absolutely, is much, much better than the one in Paris. No question of that. But when you take a family of 5, that's a lot of money to go to America. There was a point, actually, where it became slightly cheaper and to take an entire family to Florida for 2 weeks rather than like 4 nights to Eurodisney. There was a point where that was actually the case, but at the moment that is not the case. So it's back to Eurodisney, and that's why we're going. And remember, we're going. It's for the children, not for us, for the children. And I years ago, I took them all when they were children. And we all went together to Disney in Paris. And I always remember saying to my niece and nephews at the time that when their children are old enough, I'd like to take them as a family. So that's what's happening now. And it's lovely. It's lovely that I'm able to do that. Good morning to Mick's Mowers this morning. Good morning, young Mick. Just scrolling there. Joseph McDonald, a very good morning to you, Joseph. White City, yes. Television theatre was indeed in White City. Yvonne, how do you get my raffle ticket tomorrow? Well, there's no show tomorrow, Yvonne. There's only raffle tickets when there's show. You actually get 2 today. There'll be 1 this morning and 1 for our phone-in show tonight, a little bit later on, okay? John, the BBC is behind my house. Very expensive flats and shops added onto it. Yes, I saw those. And what do they call it? Television Centre. The flats are called Television Centre, aren't they? Or it was one. It was a sign I went past there some time ago now. Ray Reynolds, the Craig David set was broadcast from Central Hall, Westminster. He was interviewed outside at midnight with Westminster Abbey in the background. Oh, okay, right, fair enough. So it's from Central Hall. It's a bit of a mix-up there with different opinions there. Someone said it was in television theatre. Ray says it was in central Westminster. Don't know. Let's see if Google is our friend. Once again, gang, if you find your messages are getting lost within all the other messages, because there's a lot of chat going on in the chat box, feel free to email me directly, and that I'll see that quickly. All right. Where was Craig David set New Year's Eve? I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, but here we go. Craig David Rock's Big Ben Live will be taking place at London Central Hall in Westminster. Thank you very much, Ray Reynolds. Okay, so not a television theatre. Oh, hang on a minute. What's this story here? BBC iPlayers are left fuming as a delay on the channel meant they missed the New Year's Eve countdown. Well, don't people know that? How can people not know that? If you watch the iPlayer, okay, that comes from the internet. So there's always going to be a delay. Here's a little thing for you. I bet you didn't know this. Do you remember years ago there was a BBC clock? And now on BBC One, it's 9 o'clock. Time for the news with Richard Baker. Da 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 da. Like, remember the BBC clock? Well, it disappeared, didn't it? Way back when, long time ago. Why is there no BBC clock anymore? And I'll show you why. When we were all watching television over the same system, i.e. transmitters dotted all around the country, which some of you are still using, and indeed I still use. When you were watching transmitters all over the country, or they showed the clock and it told you the same time wherever you were watching it. You know, those seconds were clicking at almost exactly the same time, whether you were watching in Southampton or John O'Groats or up north on the Isle of Skye or somewhere like that. The clock always told the same time. As soon as satellite television came along and the BBC started broadcasting from there as well, that clock coming down from the satellite was not the same as the clock that people were watching on the television. So there might be a little bit of a delay, a second or two, okay? Then the internet come along. And as you well know, there's a bit of a delay between me speaking and you seeing me. Probably anything by as much as sort of between 8 and sort of 15 seconds. So I said this between 8 and 15 seconds ago before you see it. That's one of the reasons sometimes when we're chatting away and then I see someone's answered a question with yes, and I don't know what you're answering because it happened so long ago. You see what I mean? And so of course, if you get the clock from there, that's going to be way different from the clocks that people are watching via satellite and from transmitters. And that's why there's no BBC clock anymore, or indeed ITV, because all the clocks would be telling different times. When you're watching shows from satellite, there's a delay. Of course there is. You know, it's time they've sent that signal miles and miles up into the air, through the Earth's atmosphere, got it to the satellite on the upload, and then bouncing it back down to your satellite dishes that you have on your houses at home. There's a delay there. Of course there is. It's gone miles up and back down again. And again with the internet. Big delay there on the internet. And that's why there's no clock. Isn't that an interesting fact? I knew you'd find that an interesting fact. But anyway, they were all moaning New Year's Eve. BBC iPlayers were left fuming as delay on the online channel meant they missed the New Year's Eve countdown. Because, of course, there's a 5 or 6 second delay, you see. Instead, people watched as Roman Kemp interviewed Craig David about his new DJ set TS... I wonder what TS5 stands for. When the clock struck at midnight. Taking to Twitter in anger. Oh, you know what they're like. The keyboard. What are they called? The keyboard warriors. They tap, 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 moan, and they scream, and they shout, and they swear. Taking to Twitter in anger, those watching the show complained that the pair had ruined their celebrations as it meant they missed the live fireworks display. Well, they didn't miss the live fireworks display. They just saw it 5 seconds after everyone else. That's how it is, because of the delay. I mean, for Christ's sake, what 5 seconds... difference that is going to make to someone's life is beyond it. Snowflake alert. We should have a little jingo, shouldn't we? Snowflake alert going off. One viewer ranted, London fireworks were really crap this year, although that could be down to the fact we missed most of it due to Roman Kemp and Craig David not finishing talking until about 00.05. Oh, for Christ's sake, 5 seconds. 5 seconds and they're moaning their heads off. I mean, why do they even bother? Why do they bother living, these people? All they do is moan, don't they? And one wrote, shocking coverage from the BBC, almost missed midnight due to Roman Kemp asking Craig David about his new album. Oh, for God's sake, blimey. And it's all because of the slight delay in the way the programme reaches their devices. And even, as you can see, often on here, good morning to George Bond. George is off to archery tonight, are you? Oh, have a nice time there. Even your own devices, as you well know. Sometimes you're watching me and the sync goes out. It's not me. Not normally me, actually. It's your device. And your device can slow it down, depends what you've got and where you are. There's so many variations in the way people watch stuff these days. Oh, by the way, I forgot to turn off Facebook. Silly old me. If you're watching us on Facebook Live... Silly old man. I forgot completely about that. Then you're going to be leaving us here. I'm afraid we can't see any messages that are coming in via Facebook Live. You need to join us on YouTube, my darlings, okay? Join us at youtube.com/Chris Reardon UK and you'll be able to join in the show right now, which is happening now. And you get the whole show as well, okay? So once again, if you're watching on Facebook Live, join us right now on youtube.com/Chris Reardon UK and we'll see you over there, all right? Oh, I forgot to turn down my mic then when I coughed. How rude is that? Anyway, that's a piece of technical information for you. Heidi, I've already thought of that, darling. I'm going to try and get you a key ring from Skegness this afternoon when we go. All right, don't worry about that. Already in my head. Already in my head. Good morning to LaBelle. I am her emerald-eyed baby. New Year of Magic. Thank you very much. Oh, that's just jumped forward. It's just impossible. As I say, if you want to send a message and you want it to stick out from all the others, either super chat it or send us an email there direct. And I can. It's very difficult sometimes to pull out the interesting messages. Let's have a look there. There you go. Adam as well. Central Hall, Westminster was the actual place. Thank you very much. Good. Let's just scroll now. Where are we now? Right. There's always a delay on TV and radio, says Paul. Yes, you're right. I'll have to go down to the bottom there and we'll start again, I think. Morning to Gary Butler. There's my nephew joining us today. Preparing for Skegness. Sharon is there as well. There's my sister as well. Good morning to you as well. Gary, we're actually quite honoured to have Gary Butler. He's usually only on the large professional channels now, he was telling me. That's why he doesn't pop up anymore. He just sticks to the large professional channels. Excellent, my sister. Is Martin not coming then? Why isn't mine coming? No, she's bringing the dog to Skegness as well. So that's nice. That's nice as well. Oh, actually, I need petrol. I need petrol. Oh, how much have I got? I've got about 40 miles worth. So hang on a minute. 10 to Gary, 10 back. That's 20. 10 to Boston tomorrow for my swimming. Oh, it should be all right. Oh, am I going in the fun bus? I hope I'm going on the fun bus. I look forward to going on the fun bus. Yes. All right. Once again, do join us for a little show tonight. Should be with you about 8, 9 o'clock. Somewhere between 8 and 10 o'clock we'll do a show tonight and you'll be able to call in as well on the phone if you want to. But now, look at this in the Daily Mirror today. Look at this. Man spends a week building his 2,432-piece model and the cat destroys it in seconds. Who's got cats? Do you remember when they were kittens? Naughty little things. Christmas trees with glass baubles being pulled over, all that sort of thing. But we love them. We love watching cats climbing up curtains, ripping sofas apart, attacking your feet. My niece has got a cat, Pam. She adopted it. It literally walked into the house. It was a stray cat, and she spent quite a lot of money on it so far, having its ears done, because it had mites in its ears and stuff like that. Well, in the Daily Mirror this morning, a toy store worker spent more than a week putting together a model of Japanese manga series. I don't know what that Japanese manga series character Doraemon for a client in time for a New Year deadline, only to see his cat destroy it. Have you had a cat before? And what has it pulled apart? What has your cat destroyed? The relationship between humans and cats can often seem like a one-way street. We feed them, fuss over them, and let them share our own warm, comfy beds. Now, I used to do that. Literally, I had a cat named Tiny. She was lovely. She was lovely. She was actually a birthday gift from my son and ex-wife 30 years ago. And it was totally unexpected. I remember them coming in now, and she had the cat under a jacket like that into my flat in Wandsworth, and the little boy was there as well. My little boy as well, and we got your we got your birthday present, and a little boy said, "We'll give you a clue. It's black and brown and it's got whiskers." I remember that. And there it was, the little cat. And she was a lovely cat. And she would climb into the bed. She'd jump on the bed. And I only had a flat and had a little tray. But she learnt to go outside. And she'd go to the door and she'd go outside, do her business and come back up. And was on the first floor. She'd come up the stairs, this little cat. And she would jump on the bed. They walk slowly up to the bed. Padding, don't they? Up to the bed. And climb in the bed, and in the morning I'd wake up and there she'd be in there. And that was followed by another cat I had called JD. I can't remember where JD... I think it might have been my sister's cat. I can't remember now. JD the cat. And again, she used to do the same. She used to climb in the bed. But I stopped them doing that because one night I woke up. And this cat was in the bed, and it was pushing me over with its paws, trying to take over the old bed. So that was it. I didn't have them in the bed after that. And then Katie, the cat, that was my mum's cat. I adopted Katie when my mum died in 2000. She moved in. At first, she hated me, absolutely hated me, hissing and spitting whenever I went near her, hiding behind the washing machine. This is my house in Bracknell. But I persevered, and I put down the food, and she'd come out. And eventually, if an animal hates you, you can't really pet it. I don't think you've got to wait until it comes to you. Just ignore it or keep putting food down, and eventually it gains your trust. And I felt very close to my mother's cat. And for a while, she used to come and sleep on the bed with me, and she'd climb up, not in the bed, on the bed. She'd climb up, and she'd literally fall asleep. And she was so close to me, I could feel her breath on the bottom of my lip. That's how close she was to me. And the purring, and it sends you to sleep, of course. Wonderful cats. But of course, I had these cats, and not so much with Katie, because she was always already of an age. But certainly Tiny, she'd be running, and they suddenly run round the place. She suddenly run round the living room for no reason. Why do they do it? 1 minute they're asleep, and then suddenly... And then they go mad. We love them. We absolutely love cats. Amelia says, where's Amelia there? Amelia says, talking of cats, there's meant to be a film about cats in the cinema, which I want to see. No, I wouldn't bother, Amelia. It's awful. Really bad reviews on that. In fact, I heard on the radio, Universal are going to lose a lot of money on that film, that Universal film. They're going to lose an awful lot of money on there. Or they have already lost an awful lot of money. Terrible, really, when you think about it. Have you watched the Gingerbread Cat on YouTube? It's hilarious. No, I've not seen that one, the Gingerbread Cat. What's that one about? Not seen that. There is a thing, there's a bloke on YouTube, and he draws. I think it might, it's probably done on the computer, I don't know. It's like a drawing of a cat. And it's called Simon's Cat. That's quite good. He's got a load of them up there. The little short videos that he makes, and this little cat and the stories and things that happen. It's hilarious. Him and his owner. Him and his owner. That's a lovely thing. It really is. Roy, cats are rude. They either ignore or bother you. Oh, I don't mind being bothered by a cat. As long as it's meowing and it's happy. We like cats. Mandy, our cat was a stray. She's known as Patch. And she's all for Mick. Ah, is she a man's cat, is she? Michael, there's a plug that you put into the wall to keep the cats calm. Yes. Yeah, I know the thing you mean. I think it's got pheromone or something like that in it. And they like catnip, don't they? Catnip is like drugs for cats. They go mad for that stuff. They go mad for that. Gary, my nephew, he's got 2 cats. Belle and Rocky. And they're funny cats, they are. But Rocky is this most beautiful black cat. Oh, it's beautiful. And it likes attention. It likes to be stroked. It jumps on you and you stroke it. But if you stop stroking it, it bites you. I'm serious. It bites you. It wants to be stroked. And when you stop, this thing attacks you. Lovely cats he's got there. Let's have a look there. Chris Email has an extra UK. Sorry, do you want to try that again? Chris Email has an extra UK. Has it? Let me have a look. Also, it does. Oh, no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. I've left the other blooming thing up there. That's why. There you go. There you go. I've got one superimposed. Maybe if I make that other one bigger now to cover the other one, if I do that again. Yeah, let's just make that a little bit bigger. I don't want it to be too big. There you go. That'll cover that now, won't it? There we are. Is that better? Is it in the middle? Yeah, that's better. Thank you for telling me that. Don't want to make that mistake because then people won't be able to get their emails there. That's the email address. If you find your messages and you've got something important to say and I keep missing them out, then it's just impossible at the moment because there's so many people chatting, which is great. You know, don't stop chatting. Please don't stop chatting to each other because that's nice as well. You get to make friends and things like that. Sharon, aren't you supposed to be at work, darling? Mick's mowers, my missus hisses and spits at me. Well, you don't need a cat then, Mick. You don't need a cat then, Mick, if your missus is spitting at you like that. Oh, dear. The old cough's a lot better now. Good. Excellent. Excellent. What else have we got here to read to you this morning? We've got the cat thing. Oh, yes, we're back to this story then. It says the relationship between humans and cats often seems like a one-way street. Oh, absolutely. You know, you may think that the cat's doing you a favour by sitting on your lap and wanting to be stroked. No. As soon as that cat's had enough, it'll be off, mate. And sometimes it makes it obvious that it's had enough. Don't pick up a cat, and if it starts growling, put it down. Do you not think it's growling for a reason? Oh, Mikey Mike lost his cat in July. She was 19. Sorry, Mikey Mike. Yeah. Horrible when you lose a pet. My sister's just lost her Rottweiler, unfortunately. He wasn't very well either. Good morning to Martin Butler. What have I missed? Absolutely nothing at all, Martin. You've missed nothing because you can watch it again later at your convenience with the Chris Reardon iPlayer. Thank you very much. Yes, Alan says you never own a cat. Correct, Alan. A cat owns you. A cat owns you. Here, Mandy's got Rachel's got an idea. Here's a good idea. Spot the mistake. Win a keyring. The first to spot it. Keyrings. Oh, I might try them again today. The keyring people, actually. Maybe they'll be back at work today. That's an idea, isn't it? It goes on. In return, the little mischief makers love to delight in our downfall, going out of their way to get their paws on our prized possessions and hard work. This is that poor bloke who built this, was it a Lego thing? Yeah, he built this 2,432-piece Lego model, and the cat just ripped it apart. It goes on. Expensive new sofas will be used as scratching posts. Claws will turn important documents into confetti. And the dishes we spend hours slaving over will be slobbered on the moment we turn our backs. My lodger, again, going back here 25 or 30 years, about 25 years now, he had a cat called Khan. Again, another black cat. And this cat would jump onto the side of the settee, you know, on the handle while my mate was sitting there. And I remember once he had this piece of toast and he was eating his toast. No. eating his toast. And he had it in his hand like this, but the cat just grabbed it and walked out with it. But why don't we get angry? We don't get angry with cats, do we? Not like you would with a dog. I think people get angry with dogs. You don't dare get angry with a cat. The thing will attack you. I've seen YouTube videos of cats who literally launch themselves off the floor at someone's face because they've had enough. Alan prefers dogs. So we've got a bulb out in here this morning, I'm afraid. It's gone very dark, hasn't it? I don't know if I can turn the... Actually, the colour's changed, isn't it, as well? I just realised that. The colour's changed. I might be able to do that on software. Hang on a minute. Let me see if I can turn the brightness up on software. That's gone very dark now, isn't it? Let's see what I can do. Where's me auto thing? Let's try that. What's that do? It's not very good, that, is it? I'm looking at a very strange colour. Where's the auto colour thing gone? Automatic colour. I think... Oh, hang on a minute. Maybe I've got the wrong thing up there. Give me a second and I'll try and sort this out here. Logitech camera. Does that work? Don't know. This will probably completely ruin everything that's going on today. I'm aware that it's gone a bit dark in here. Come on. Oh, it takes time, doesn't it? Oh. That seems to have done something, doesn't it? How's that now? Where are we? Oh, camera not available. I don't know. Auto white balance. Auto focus is off. Image adjustments. What's image adjustments? I don't know what that is. What's image adjustments? Let's have a look. Image adjustments. Right. That seems to have been a little bit better, doesn't it? There you go. All right. There you go. That's a little bit better. How's your sister asked her losing her dog? Ask her. She's on the chat here. Ask her, darling. Morning to... Oh, is Tina just joined us? Let me see. Where's Tina? Young Tina McKenzie. Good morning, Tina McKenzie. Welcome to our little show there. I tell you who does watch all your live streams. I don't really have time to watch other live streams. But my nephew, Gary, he loves the live streams. Thank you, Adam. I could put the centre light on, but then it makes me head shine all thing. But we won't be here much longer today because I've got to get ready to go to my nephew's house. It goes on to say, when a Toy Star worker was asked to construct a model for a client in New Year, he spent hours and hours over a week painstakingly putting together 2,434 pieces. Doraemon is the character, a Japanese manga series. What is a manga series? What the hell is that? Written was perfect. And then the cat got hold of it and ripped it apart. So if you've got a cat, I know where you're coming from there. We've all had things ruined by cats, haven't we? All right, let's do today's raffle tickets, boys and girls. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Let's do the raffle tickets today. Who wants a raffle ticket? This is for Monday's raffle, boys and girls. Monday's raffle, as always. Should be Monday anyway. I've got my fingers crossed that it will be Monday. I think it's the Hive Man coming on Monday. And he's there 9 till 10. Or so 8 till 10. So it'll probably be a little bit of a later show on Monday this week, okay? I think it's it. I think that's what's happening Monday. And he'll be there between 8 and 10. Maybe he'll come at 8 o'clock. You know, in which case we'll probably be able to do the show. But he said it's about an hour and a half's work to do that. Because you've got to do some rewiring and stuff. So just a moment. Raffle tickets for Monday's show. Remember, always put ticket please or something like that, my darlings. Then I know you want a ticket and you're not just talking. Good morning to Luke Trott, just joining us there. Hello, Luke. Please only ask for a raffle ticket once. When I get to the bottom of the list, I'll say, have I missed anyone out? And if I've missed you out, I'll correct that, okay? So, Tony King, you're first there, mate. Tony King, thank you, Tony. Ticket number 910 on the blue tickets. Jason Hughes, 911. Nothing to do with the disaster. Roy Brownlow, 912. Mix Mowers, 913. There's no key rings yet, I'm afraid, Mick. No key ring yet, I'm afraid, Mick. Not here. I've got to ring up about those again. Oh, my foot. I'm now getting a clicking at the back of my foot. I don't know what that is. I might have to go back to the doctors with this foot. Gary Butler, 914. Gary Butler. I don't think we're going to Skegness very long, just a couple of hours, I think. Is that right, Gary? Is it just a couple of hours walk around and some chips? Mick Davenport, 915. Thank you, Mick. 916 for one man and his Sprinter van. One moment, please. Oh, Gary, I'm feeling generous. Cling! I'll get the dinner. There you go. I'll get the dinner. If we're going to Trawler's Catch, I'll get the dinners. How's that sound? In exchange for your petrol. There you go. I'll get the dinners today. One man in his Sprinter van. Amelia Dodd, thank you. 917 for Amelia. Joanna, 918. Adam, are you with us? Have you got your pens yet, darling? Did you get your pens in the post? There's LaBelle, 919. 919. Ooh, bum, 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 bum. Heidi, there's lovely Heidi, 920. Mandy, 921. Michael Lawrence, 922. Having a lovely time on that pool table with you, incidentally, Michael, on Monday night. Wonderful time while I was standing near the bar on the pool table with you. Most enjoyable. Thank you very much for that. 923, Rob Lincoln. Diane Jebb, 924. Colin K, 925. 925. Talking to Gary. Fran Green, 926. Good morning, Fran. You're very quiet, darling. Very quiet is our Fran. Joey Millen, 927. Ross Herndon, 928. And then scrolling, dear, scrolling down the river, scrolling down the river. Where did we get to? Was it Joey? Ross Herndon, where we got to? There's Yvonne Lemon. One moment, please. Yvonne Lemon is 929. Thank you, Yvonne. And it's Adam the Plumber, 930. Adam, have you got your pens yet? Please say that you did. And you must tell me if you didn't get them, because that was posted. We lost a lot of stuff around the Christmas period. People stuff getting delayed in the post and what have you. John Aitken, thank you, 931. Good morning, Dave Moses, 932. Thank you, Dave. I'm reading an interesting article today. I don't know if I bet you are on the Facebook radio magazine page. And they were saying things that they think are going to happen this year. And they were saying they were going to get a lot of kind of super localised DAB stations appear on DAB this year, which is interesting. But I do question, how many people would listen to such a thing. When you think about it, it wouldn't be too many people listening to that. If you were doing sort of, in London, of course, in a highly dense area, perhaps you could set up a small DAB radio station in somewhere like Putney, and there'd be quite a few thousand people, possibly, who might listen to that. But you'd have to be sort of fairly, no, actually, when I think about it, yeah, that could work, couldn't it? If, for example, you set up a radio station in, say, a predominantly area of, shall we say, rich people, like Hampstead, like Hampstead Hill, somewhere like that. Set up a radio station there, and you would tailor those programs for like rich people. You'd have lots of adverts from Harrods or somewhere like that, wouldn't you? Or perhaps like a community of Polish people. I think in Boston, just down the road there's a high high community of Polish people. I suppose that would work, wouldn't it? You know, like a small, very like a super small station, radio station dedicated to Polish people. I suppose it would work, yeah, wouldn't it? Morning to George Bond, 933 George. George Bond. Gavin Bass, thank you, Gavin. 934. Mick, clicking on the back of the foot is not a good sign. They may have to cut it off. Oh, shut up. Actually, I wouldn't have to go to the hospital. There's enough blokes on here who can do DIY, unlike me, who will be able, but only be too pleased to help me in exchange for videoing it for their channels to boost the numbers. I think I need to do something like that, to be honest. Rachel is 935. Thank you, Rachel. You're talking to each other. No steak today. No, they don't do it there, dear. They don't do it, Gary. Fish and chips. I told you, it's only fish and chips. Thank you. Trawler's Catch. Oh, Fran, have you been there, Fran? It's great there. Absolutely great there. There's Sam 458 936 for Sam. Where are we now? Okay, Rob, that's all right. Sam's still drunk. What, from New Year's Eve? Blimey, Sam. Come on, give it up. Give that liver a rest. Give that liver a rest. Make sure you have the biggest bag of fish and chips. Oh, he will. Don't worry about that. Actually, you know, I'm surprised how quick my nephew seems to fill up with food fairly quickly. He leaves food on the plate. He leaves food on the plate. All right, it's, let me see. Sean Pye, 937. Sean Pye, 937. Sharon Michael Pullman, 938 for Michael Pullman. Pullman, thank you, Michael. Morning to Paul and Lou. Paul and Lou, 939. Morning, Paul and Lou. Hello to you. I think Sam 458 is having trouble seeing the TV screen this morning, isn't he? Right. Paul and Lou has been to the Trawler's Catch. What a chippy, huge fish. It really is. Mick Davenport smiling there. Is that foreign writing you're using? Do you speak Polish, Mick? Are you Polish? I tell you what, I've had Polish workmen work at some of my flats before. They're fantastic. They don't stop, mate. No, they're just going down the calf for 2 hours. Thank you very much. Right. And Ian Days, 940. Okay, I've done all the tickets. Have I missed anyone out? Please speak now. And I will correct that. Once again, you know, it's often that we miss out people because there's so many messages flashing up all the time, okay? That's just how it is. We accept that. If it was Radio 1, you wouldn't stand a bloody chance. I'm telling you that now, mate. Any of you. You wouldn't have any of your messages missed out. So anyone else I've missed out, please speak now or forever hold thy tongue. Okay. Let's have a look. Adam, when you do the birthdays, can you wish Samantha Howard on the Isle of Wight? Right, I can include her. Paul and Lou are impressed with Sam 458. Still drunk after all that time. I don't drink anymore. I stopped drinking when I was 21. Yeah, I just didn't enjoy it anymore. There was a period that I'd go out after I finished my work. I was a BT engineer. So I'd finished at work and then I'd cycle home and I'd go straight over the pub and get drunk. I'd get drunk. It was like just a normal pub. The Jolly Gardeners. Thank you, Alan Wainwright is on 941. Alan Wainwright. Right. Mick's doing Chinese. What's all that say? Better not be something rude, Mick. Better not be something rude, mate. Anyone else? Have I missed out anyone else's names on the tickets there? Please speak now, my darlings. Please speak now. Yes, and I used to go over the pub and I'd get absolutely drunk, senseless, and crawl home. I'd crawl home. I did that for about 6 months, I suppose, and then that was it, you know. That was it. Right, is that what it says? Mick egg fried rice. Maybe Mick. Roy Brownlow speaking in foreign tongue. All right, me ducks. This geezer is a right proper dipstick. Derby slang. I think so. Bonjour, je m'appelle Michel. J'ai 12 ans. Right, I think we've done all the raffle tickets now. Have we haven't missed anyone out? So please speak now if you've been missed. Happy birthday today to... Now, where's that one from? Where do Adams first? Happy birthday to Samantha Howard on the Isle of Wight. Happy birthday, Samantha. Have a lovely day, darling. Christopher Marlowe. Actually, he's down in Skegness, Christopher Marlowe. Happy birthday to you. Someone I worked with in one of the venues. I think just the Black Cup I worked with you, didn't I, Christopher Marlowe? It was a top drag queen. Happy birthday to you, Christopher. I think he's given it completely up now. Thomas Oliver Cook. Good morning, Thomas. 18 today, it says there. Happy birthday, Thomas. Joey Melotti. Good morning, Joey. A young 69 years old today. Doug Norman. Good morning, Doug. Happy birthday to you. Kenneth Jolson is 52 years old today. And Joyce Shastine is 53 years old today. Happy birthday, everyone. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. There we are. Who's wishing people happy birthday there? Isn't that kind of you? Look at that. There we are. We've got people wishing happy birthday. Michael Lawrence. There we are. Amelia. Rachel, Jason, Mick. Look at Ian Days, Diane, Mix Mowers. Oh, is that Arabic there? Arabic as well. Paul and Lou, who also speaks Chinese. Do you really? That's a hard language to learn, isn't it? Because isn't there lots of different versions of Chinese? I believe there is. Lots of people have got different dialects, or Mandarin is the big one, isn't it? Isn't Mandarin the big? Am I right in saying that Mandarin is the main Chinese sort of language? Fran there, Jerry, look, Yvonne, Sam458, John, Tony, Ian, and Mick is a man of many talents. A man of many talents. Yes, you are indeed. All right, gang. Thanks so much for joining us on the show today. Do join us tonight. You'll be able to call in tonight if you want to. You don't have to. If you want to, there's a couple of people already shown an interest in calling into the show tonight. So we look forward to talking to them this evening. Sometime between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. will be our very first. I'd say first. It's not the first. Sometimes we've been opening the phone lines in the past, but tonight, once we start, and I'll give you a few things that might be of interest to talk about, then we'll open the phone lines and you can call in as and when. Okay, just to let you know, there's only one phone line. Okay, if I'm talking to someone, you won't get through. There's no queuing system. There's no one kind of in another room stacking up the phone calls or doing anything like that. Okay, it's only me. So once I've taken a call, if I see another call ringing, there's nothing I can do about it. You've got to wait until there's a gap. And that's how it will work tonight. So fingers crossed, we'll see how it goes. And you can, if you've got Skype's, LaBelle. Okay, it'll either be phone in or Skype. The Skype, if you want to set up Skype on your device now, you can do so. And you need to add the name, all one word, United Kingdom Talk. Okay, the Skype will be United Kingdom Talk. I'm going to clash with Dracula. No, I won't, because you can watch it on the iPlayer. You can watch it on the iPlayer. Watch it on the old iPlayer. So set up your Skype, and the Skype-In name will be United Kingdom Talk. Okie doke. Have a good day, boys and girls. Thanks very much for watching and listening. I shall tell you all about Skegness later on tonight. Oh, one other thing with the call-in. No politics. We're not doing politics. We're not doing politics, okay? Don't start going on about who you voted for or your Brexit or anything like that. Not interested. We are not interested in rows. Just a general light-hearted banter. That's what we're trying to do. Don't have Skype. We'll get it. It's free. Just download it, LaBelle. Set up your Skype account. Don't cost you anything. And then add the username, all one word, United Kingdom Talk, and you'll be able to call us on there. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you again tonight between 8 and 10 o'clock. Cheerio now.